Hi, I'm John, and welcome to Edgestone Studios. So let me give you a little bit of background here. In 2017, we sold our house in Victoria, moved up island, quit our jobs, bought this place, spent 4 years renovating it. I built my dream studio. I filled it with my dream synthesizers and gear, drums. I ended up getting Parkinson's. I ended up writing my first album with my daughter. I ended up doing a series on musicians of Vancouver Island. I've been having a blast moving into the music industry after a career in IT. And almost completely out of the blue, but weirdly not so unexpected, we've suddenly come up with the idea that we might just move back to Victoria. And that would mean losing the setup that we have right now. So the question that comes to mind is, how attached are you to things? How attached are you to the way things are in your life today? How attached are you to stuff you own? How attached are you to ideas you have, to concepts you believe in? And this is what is confronting me now as I ponder this thought that in a short period of time, 2 years or less, but probably way faster than that, because I wouldn't want to wait 2 years if we're going to make this change. In a short period of time, we would sell our house, move to another city, get a smaller house, a little bit more manageable, and I would lose my studio that I built myself with my own hands, and have had for 3 years. And that really makes me wonder, how attached am I to this? Because one of the first thoughts that I had was, oh, that would be a chance to really streamline. That would be a chance to really decide which of the stuff I own I actually want to continue to own and work with and use and spend my time with. And man, if we were forced into a smaller living situation with all of our stuff getting smaller, because I have my studio, I have a garage with power tools and a table saw, etc., and that allowed me to build a studio. And we have a house with a kitchen, living room, bedrooms, and then we have a downstairs living room which has been converted to a games room. And my other hobby is role playing and board games, and all my role playing stuff, all my miniature stuff, all my board games are down in there, set up to be gamed with. And not only do we game down there, we host a annual what we call invitation only micro gaming convention, which basically means my friends all come over for a weekend and we play board games and role playing games and sometimes miniature games and card games, and hang out for 2.5 days. And people come from across the province to go to this because they've been coming for years and they're friends of mine and friends of Tracy's. And so here I am contemplating this idea that is not really that imminent. There's no reason we have to do anything this exact moment, quickly rush and go get a house in Victoria and move away from Duncan and be closer to my kids. And, all those things are wonderful aspects of the thought of moving, but also there's no rush. However, there's also the potential there could be a rush, because I could think, well, I want to be set up in the new space before my health gets worse. Because it will get worse. I have Parkinson's. That's just going to progress, and I can fight it or work against it as best I can. But I'm going to have to deal with the fact that certain things will get more difficult, and then eventually many, many things will get very difficult. And even playing live playing will degrade a lot faster than, say, being able to compose. But I don't know. I look around this room and think, yeah, maybe I could do it with just the Super Gemini and the Tempest and the KO2, just my jam station. What if I was down to just that? Then I look around the room and go, yeah, but I've got that Poly-Evolver and it's the metric synth. Oh, so beautiful. And this room sounds wonderful. I cannot imagine having a smaller room, or a room that isn't so well constructed to, one, keep noise out, and two, sound great in the room, especially when listening to music. But even when just recording like this, like there's little treatment on my microphone. I tend to cut a bit of lows just because I have a deep voice, and because the desk vibrates a little bit. There's a little bit of desk noise coming in from the PC. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I wonder. So how attached are you? Like what concepts and ideas can't you give up? I mean, could you give up the concept of living in the same city you live in? I've done it once already now as an adult with, with a family, living in a family type house after my kids moved out. We made the move to just, let's just completely change our lives, stop working, go and live in a different city. Not in an unfamiliar city, but still one we weren't living in. Um, yeah, and then now potentially just moving right back and changing things up again and going from, I went all in with everything, to I got to go smaller and focused and streamlined. And I know that focusing in on individual things gives more time to actually get results out of them. So if I was like literally just focusing in on playing the synth and drum machines and programming and doing live sets, then I'd probably be producing some live sets. So far, I haven't produced any live set. I've just sort of been fiddling with it, thinking that's a cool thing that I could potentially do, is get to the point where I'm pretty good at jamming out on the drum machines and keyboard, and have some pre-made patterns and things that I work to. But uh, I also could just sit around for 2 years enjoying this space, and then maybe drop everything. Drop everything. But there's something compelling about this idea of going super minimal. I've known about that minimal idea for a long time, and because I'm someone who's so intrigued in so many directions about things like photography. I mean, I feel like I've got my YouTube lighting pretty good now compared to, you look at my early channel, things like that, learning audio, setting up my station exactly how I want to have it set up, writing an album, producing a YouTube series on musicians coming into my studio, just like going for it and learning and exploring. At the same time, the idea of sort of focusing down on any one of those things and going really, really deep also really appeals to me. So I wonder about this. Well, it's going to happen. Like, we've had the discussion that, okay, within 2 years, that's the next plan, and I'm not opposed. I think I was sold on the idea, but not, of course, immediately sold on the idea of, that means saying goodbye to the studio, at least as being my studio. I'm assuming that somebody would be interested in buying our house with a full-fledged production recording studio built in, whether just for personal use or to run as a business. And we should get some good value out of the house for that. But it's still a tough decision. So if you're in the market for a home on Vancouver Island that has a really cool recording studio, and it's a beautiful house now. I mean, it's an older house, but it's been fixed up and it's quite nice, and lots of yard space and stuff. And you're young enough and capable enough to look after a big yard for a while and garden, then maybe this is an ideal opportunity for you. We haven't listed or anything. We're just thinking about this, but that was my question today, is kind of, how attached am I to stuff, and how willing am I to make changes? And if the past is any indication, I'm both super attached to stuff and really get into it, and then also willing to take the chance and make a change and move on from things. The number of collections of stuff I've moved on from in my life that I really loved, comic book collection, like very nice one that would have a significant value today. Various gaming collections for various different games that I got into. I've continually moved through different role-playing systems, tried things out, owned them for a while, and then said, okay, I'm moving that along. Same with miniature games and miniatures for role-playing games, and then board games that we've gone through. And pretty well, I've done the same thing with musical instruments. The synths in here are an amalgamation of several years of going through different synths and saying, this is a cool addition to the space. It's staying. This one doesn't quite fit because I'd rather have this instead, and changing those types of things around. So, yeah, I guess I didn't really have a big topic today other than how willing are you to make changes, or how attached are you to concepts you have about how things are going to be, and how open are you to the possibility that just taking a step in a different direction leads to something really cool. Because I'm super excited about the idea of a new space. I could document that on the channel. I might not, because I might not do a new space, right? I don't know exactly what that shift would look like and how severe it would be, but I feel like based on the few properties we looked at in Victoria that we'd be probably affording, we'll probably have to reduce half the stuff that we have in this house. So basically half of all the stuff I own, because a lot of the stuff in this house is mine. Let's face it. Tracy is not maximalist in any sense of the word. So yeah, that would be quite the thing. So that's my question to you. Leave a comment. How attached are you to things? How often do you just switch it up? Change it around. Change the breakfast you have every day. Change your morning routine. Change anything that you're attached to that is the way you have it in your life. Because I think it's a valuable thing to think about. Okay, talk to you later.